The year is 1970. Richard Nixon is the President of the United States and Elvis Presley is a superstar. And these two very different men have never met until today. And so it's a bit of a surprise when Elvis shows up at the White House to meet with President Nixon. Now, you're probably wondering, why does Elvis want to meet with President Nixon? Well, the two actually have a lot more in common than you might think. Both men were from very humble beginnings. Both men had risen to the very top of their respective fields. Both men had faced a lot of adversity in their personal lives. And both men were very interested in each other's work. Elvis was a huge fan of President Nixon and his policies, and he had been following his career for years. He had even campaigned for him in the 1968 election. And when Nixon won, Elvis was one of the first celebrities to call and congratulate him. So when the president invited Elvis to the White House, the singer was honored. He arrived with the entourage that included his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, and his bodyguards, as well as a few members of his family. The group was met at the door by President Nixon and his wife, Pat. And after a brief photo opportunity, they were led into the Oval Office. Now, the meeting between Elvis and Nixon has been the subject of much speculation over the years, with some people claiming that the two men didn't hit it off or that they argued. But the truth is that Elvis and Nixon got along great. They talked for hours about a variety of topics, including music, politics, and their personal lives. And they also discussed the possibility of Elvis performing for the troops. Unfortunately, this meeting would be the only time that Elvis and Nixon would ever meet. But the two men remained friendly until Elvis's death in 1977. In fact, when Nixon heard about Elvis's passing, he was deeply saddened. He called Colonel Parker to express his condolences, and he even considered attending the singer's funeral. So there you have it, the story of how Elvis Presley met President Richard Nixon. It's a meeting that has become the stuff of legend, but it's also a meeting that could have happened only in America. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.